Hello everyone and welcome back to UE5 BP Guru. Today we're going to be looking at getting our accept widget up and running, accept Pokemon widget. We obviously started last episode by looking at the code for the starter Pokemon BP. Obviously for the members this is probably moments ago, but for anyone who's not a member, you've probably been waiting a week. And I'm sure you're very excited to get started. And first of all, though, we've got to actually design the accept Pokemon widget. So to do this, I'm going to get an image, and we'll make this a juicy 300 by 300. That seems like a good size. We're going to get another image, and I'm going to set this to 1000 by 200. That seems pretty good. We'll stick it down here, and I'm going to set the opacity to 0.5 and set it to a lovely black. I'm then going to set the item to a rounded box so it looks kind of nice, and I'll bring this down to sort of about here, and I want to anchor everything to the bottom. Now I want two buttons. I want a button here. We'll just make it like that, and another one sort of there works for me. We'll call this the yes button in the top right in the details. We name it, and we'll call this the no button. I want to get some text. Drag that into there and drag that one into there, and we'll say this one is in the text box here. We'll just say yes, like so, and I'm going to set the color to black. On this one, I'm going to set this to no, and I'm also going to set that one to black so that it shows up a bit better. And we also need to make the text a variable, so I'm just going to call this yes with a text and a no with a txt for text at the end, and set that to variable as well, because we are going to want to change them. We need a different kind of text box, one like this one. It's in the input. We'll bring this across, make it a little bit bigger, and we will also want another text that sits over here. We'll make it the same sort of size, like so. Make it a little bit bigger, and I want the text to sit in the middle, so click on this where the justification is, and set this to accepting Ringmon Pokemon. And we also want that to be a variable as well. And we'll call that Pokemon text box. And the only thing we want to change is this editable text box here. We'll call this name text box. We want to set this to hidden, so that you don't see it to begin with. Okay, so now we just need to kind of code everything, and we're going to do that over in the graph. If we go over to the graph, we want this event construct. We shouldn't need any of the other stuff. And the only thing we need to change at this point in time is we need to change the text of our Ringmon text box, or Pokemon text box. So we get that, and we just need to set the text like so. And from that, we need to get an append, string append. We're going to add an extra pin in this. and we're going to add this return value into here. I'm going to just try and tidy this up a little bit. If I leave that there and bring that closer. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to set it to would you like to accept, then we'll leave a space. We're going to get this Ringmon or Pokemon name and plug that into there. And then we just add in a question mark. And we can move that over there a bit more. And that's all we need to do for that. Now, what we need to program is the yes and no buttons. We also need to update the text change if we want to give it a name. So if we click on our yes button and we get a on clicked, and we also want to get if we click on no button and get the on clicked for that as well, we can start producing this. So it's easier to do the yes first. And we're going to need a few booleans to check and move things along. The first one being we need a boolean for has accepted. Has accepted, question mark. So by has accepted, we mean have we said yes to picking this starter? If that's false, we need to do a bunch of stuff. If it's true, we need to do a bunch of different stuff. And we also need to check this on the no. Now, the simplest thing to do is if on the no we haven't accepted, we can remove from parent, which is this widget, and then we can get the player controller, and we can set show mouse cursor back to false, and we can set input mode to back to game only. And that means we can then carry on and pick another Pokemon. And if we say yes, we're going to need to produce a few different things. We're going to need some functions, basically. So up on the right-hand side on functions, we need to roll the IV. We need to roll the final stats. We need to set the moves. And that should be everything we're going to need to do at the start. So let's get the main code down, and then we can work on those last few things straight after. And set the moves. Those are the three things we're going to have to do. We then set has accepted to set has accepted to true. And then what we want to do is we need to ask the question from the Ringmon text box. We need to reset this now to a new. Set the text for this to something new. So this is the point where they have said yes. We want to start training this Pokemon. We're going to get another string append, and we're going to add another one in here. We're going to do that just like that. And we were going to ask the question, would you like to leave a space at the end to make sure there's a gap, and then this is our Pokemon's name. Would you like to give this Pokemon a name? Question mark. Give this. Would you like to give Bulbasaur a nickname? Question mark. And hopefully, as long as I put the right spaces in, that should come up. Off the here, we would like to add in another Boolean check, and this one is going to be of type has named. and we will come back to this in a moment. We're going to give a little bit more space too. So we're going to do the, we're going to go back down to the yes actually. So if we haven't named, we set the visibility now of our name text box. Set visibility, and we set that to visible. And we take our Pokemon text box and set the visibility for that to hidden. We also want to get rid of the no button because we don't need to worry about that now. So those both go to hidden. And what we're going to do is get our yes text, and we're going to set text for that, and we're going to set it to accept, and we're going to plug that into there. And then we set has named to true because we're in that section. The next thing we want to do is on our next tame box, our name text box, just even, we want to set this to on text changed. So we need to run this. And what we're doing is we're going to get the length. No, we're not. We're going to convert to string. We're going to convert it to a string. And we're going to get the length of that string. So that's the length. We're also going to do a left chop. And the count we want is 1. And then we check to see if this is greater or equal to 15. And we do that in a branch. And like so. And then what we want to do is get the name text box and set the text. Set text box. There we go. That's what I was looking for. And basically, what's happening here is we are going to set this. And if it ends up over 15 and that's true, we basically chop the 1 to the right. So every time we add a 16th one, it gets chopped. And that's what's happening here. So that's that. So now we've put in a name and we can accept it. And if what we need to do is we need to set our name, which is going to be another function. Set name. That's going to be another function. Let's stick that out here. So if it's true, we set name. And then we need to have one more function where we add Pokemon to party. That's going to be another function. And we'll set that one there, like so. And then what we need to do is basically hide everything now that we don't need. Oh gosh, hide. And what we need to hide is the name text box because we don't want to change it anymore. We want to hide the buttons, so we can retry and hide the no button if it's still alive for some reason, and the yes button for whatever reason as well. Like so. And what we need to set the visibility for is our ring Pokemon text box. Set visibility for that one to visible so that we can now amend what it says. And we're going to set the text for that and plug that in there. Do a little reroute node so it ties up quite nicely. And we need to basically what we need to do, because we will have added the Pokemon to the party there, we need to make a new oh wait, I need to do it the other way around. Append string, and we're going to plug that into there like so. And we should just need the 2. Space has been added to your party, full stop. And we can then, all we got to do is plug in the Pokemon, the info that we're going to be getting. So to do that, we can actually just get the Pokemon info, break it, and we're going to get the given name. Now, if you don't give it a given name and it's just blank, it will be the same as the Pokemon name. So if it's Bulbasaur, you don't give it a name, it'll still be Bulbasaur. So Bulbasaur has been added to your party. And then from there, we just need to do a delay, and we'll just do a delay of like 1 second. Oh, 1 second. And it's the same thing again, where we just wherever it is, we did it on the no, we can just grab all of this stuff like so and plug it in there. Great. Compile that, and we just got to finish off the no, and then we just got to do the different nodes. So for here, we can just grab the Pokemon info, set members, plug that in, and what we're going to do is set in the name and the given name, and we can literally just plug in this to both. Just do that, and that should work fine. Like so. So that should now set that, and then we just need to set that and that as well. That's that done. Then we just need to use the add Pokemon to party node again, and then it's a case of doing exactly what we did on the yes, which is this, and this. If we copy that up to here, like so, and I didn't get the text box. Add that in there, and this can go straight into there, and we just need to make that the Pokemon text box, like so. And then it's a case of just doing exactly the same thing again. So we just take that as well. I could have probably just copied and pasted everything, and that's the no done. So all we have left to do now are our functions. And once the functions are done, we should, in theory, have a working accept starter Pokemon. So the first one we need to do is roll our IVs. This is probably, in all honesty, the easiest one because we are just rolling a random integer between 0 and 31. So we can get the Pokemon info and break that information. And all we need from it, so if we grab this one, we can get rid of everything off of here. The only thing we want to keep is the IVs on here. And we're done. And we can set members of this, like so. And we're going to tick them all to true, like that. And what we need to do is get a random integer in range, plug 0. So we want them to be 0 between 0 and 31. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Like so. And those will go in there. And that's how basically the Pokemon IVs are created. I'm just going to try and neaten this up a little bit, just because it can be a bit messy. This I don't want it to look too much like spaghetti code. And then what we do is we set. We need to basically we need to set this. Nope, nope, not like that. We need to set this, and then we need to set member of this. And the only member we want to set for this is our Pokemon IVs. And this goes in here. We can get another one of these and plug that into there, and then the IVs goes directly into there. And as crazy as that looks, I promise you it will be fine. And that's all we need to do for the IVs. That should be set nicely. We can then do our final stats, and there's quite a bit to do for the final stats, but I promise you it should be okay. It shouldn't be too bad. So the first thing we need to do is get our Pokemon name, and we're going to get data table row. And the data table we're going to use is our Pokemon basic info data table. This is important that you have your creatures filled out at this point if you want this to work correctly. Otherwise, it will return nothing. So we will look at that in the next episode of setting up our creature and all the information we're going to need in the next episode so that we can get this working correctly. So once we've broken that information, the only real thing we're going to need is that basic information. We shouldn't need really anything else at this point. So we can untick everything and just get that basic stat information. We are also going to break it. We're going to set this up because we're at the 20-minute mark, so I'm going to have to do this as a part 2, I think. But from our Pokemon information, break this, and but I'll finish up the first half of this setup. We're going to get our IVs, so break those, like so. So we're going to need all of this, near enough. Break that as well. And we're also going to need that current level. So let's get rid of the name. We don't need any of that. We do need to know our current level. We need to know our IVs, and we will need, that's about it, I think, IV. So the reason we need to know what our current level is because we are going to multiply by our current level. That is why we do this. And to be honest, I'm kind of tempted actually to just break this twice because it will just be a lot neater to get this information. And if I close all this down again and just get that current level from here, it will look a little bit neater. There we go. So we can grab that as well. Okay. I don't like how this is laid out, but it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Okay. So once we've done that, the only other thing, we're going to need that current level again. So I'm just going to take that and bring that up to here. You'll see what that's used for as well shortly. The only thing we need to do then is at the end over here, we will be setting some information. And so we'll take this and we'll set member. So once the row is found, we'll set this member with some new information. And that information is going to be, we need to know what our max XP is. We need to save our base stats. We've done our IVs, so we don't need to do anything with that. And the EVs won't change either, but we will also need to do our final stats. If you really want to make sure that the IVs are definitely set from this point on, you could grab this IV and plug it in if you want to. But to be honest, it shouldn't change. So we can just leave that as is. And then we can put that up there. And then we can also set our information. Like so. And we're miles over the time that I was hoping to do this. So I'm going to finish off this in the next episode. But for the members, hopefully that will be just like literally straight away. But for obviously the people waiting, will have to wait a week. So I apologize. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you again for all the continued support from the members, and of course, all the you subscribers who are watching this at a later date. And I will see you in the next episode. Much love. Take care. Bye.